Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Blueprint Live. My name's Gary and I'm going to be your host for today. So thanks very much for joining on your lunch break. We're going to be here for about 15-20 minutes to tell you how to do live streaming. So like I said, thanks so much for joining. Firstly, we'll go into who we are. So we're Capital Content, as you probably already know, capitalcontent.co. Thanks so much for visiting. We are a digital agency, right? We do live streaming, podcasting, social media management, graphic design, video content, the whole king, anything digital, right? So if you ever need anything in terms of an agency, give us a shout and we can definitely help you there. We are social first storytellers. But today, like I said, we are going to be talking about live streaming, or how we do live streaming, how you guys can do it with the tech you've got in your own business, but also if you have a little bit of a budget to show you how you can kind of bump up your production levels without spending too much cash. But firstly, why live streaming? So really, we've kind of gone full circle, right? I think back in the day, we would get home from school and chuck on Neighbours at like 4:45 every day, right? So we would actually tune in to programs each week, you know, just like today, right? Wednesday, 1 p.m. throughout January, we've got a whole bunch of other events that we're putting on. Then we kind of went to binge watching. You know, they drop all episodes of a particular program all on the same day at the same time. So then people would binge it online. Then we've kind of gone now to a point where we are watching the episodes the same time every week online as well. Just like today, you know, we had an event last week about vertical video, so I definitely recommend going to go watch that. But every Wednesday through the course of January, we are doing what we call the Blueprint live stream. So people are tuning in at the same time every week. The second point here is interaction and engagement. And what live allows you to do is actually engage with the audience in real time. You know, people are able to comment on the video. And just on that, if you have any questions, chuck them in the comments. Make sure you put your name in there so we can shout you out as well. And we'll answer all the questions at the very end. But what that does is it allows us to interact with our audience, which is way more engaging. We've also set a particular setting on there that you have to subscribe to our channel to actually make a comment, which helps obviously increase your subscribers and edging your way towards monetizing your live streams and your videos, which we talk a little bit about later. It gives you an extra channel of content. What you're able to do is go live over any of your social media feeds, and I get one of our senior social media managers to kind of talk through that shortly. But it allows you to create content off of the back of that. We get to put this half-hour video up onto our YouTube channel. We might export the audio to create a podcast, and we might even cut a whole bunch of little short videos to use as trailers to advertise for future events. And lastly, it's a low-tech barrier, right? Just like the vertical video presentation that we gave last week, what you're able to do is go live with a smartphone and a tripod today if you wanted to. We teach you a few tips and tricks on actually how to do that later. And if you had a specific budget, the gear that we use, which again we show you in a moment, it's not that difficult to use really. So it is a low-tech barrier. It's easy for people to do and it's super engaging as long as you maintain that regular, consistent, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. kind of thing. Cool. So now we're going to talk about going live on social media. I'd like to introduce, as if by magic, our senior social media manager, Laura.
Hi.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us. So you're obviously a senior social media manager.
Yes.
You've done a couple of lives with us as well.
I have.
So tell me a little bit about the tips and tricks that you've got here to help get a better live stream.
Well, this is the thing. Everyone uses social media for personal brand or even businesses. So obviously the best way you can engage with your audience is through the social media platforms. Now you're able to do live stream, you get real-time engagement with your audience. So
yeah,
you can
are you
talk
saying
to them.
that all social platforms have that have an element of live?
Yeah, you can go live on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. And it's so good because people can talk to you, ask you questions. You can like introduce new things that you want to be showcasing.
Super engaging, right?
It is really, really good. But obviously there is a few tips. You don't want your live looking shitty, do we?
Absolutely, that's right.
So here are a few tips, you know, just so you can get the perfect live. Obviously, we talk about natural lighting because you want your face to look nice. You want everyone to be able to see you because if you can't see you, then they're not going to be watching, right?
And I think the best thing about natural lighting is that it's free.
Yeah.
Right, we've obviously got a whole bunch of lights in the studio here, but all you got to do is stand by a window, bosh, you've got loads of great lighting.
Yeah, and you can also use those
The ring lights.
the ring lights. Those are
That is a
brilliant.
universal symbol.
This one.
Lovely. Tip number 2.
Good Wi-Fi connection, because
Super important.
everyone hates when things are stuttering.
Yep.
Like last week.
Like last week.
But we have fixed that, obviously.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure your Wi-Fi connection is good, so people continue to stay on the live and are staying there, because you're not going.
Yeah. It's all about test, right?
Yes.
We tested twice this morning. And we also did a test yesterday as well. And whenever we go and do corporate live streams for small and large businesses, we actually do a site visit a couple of weeks before to test the live stream, because it's super important to get that good internet connection.
100%. We've talked about vertical video, so obviously vertical hold in it. So on platforms like social media, like Instagram, TikTok and stuff, that is all vertical video. Like,
especially when you go live, right?
100%.
We're obviously broadcasting to YouTube, like the main feed, which is 16:9, classic horizontal. Yeah. But for the low tech barrier to, if you wanted to go live on a smartphone over a social platform right now, it's all about that vertical hold, right?
Yes. It looks so much better, and it's just the way that they do it on live.
So people are consuming more and more vertical video every day.
Yes. We talk about equipment in the last one, but obviously a tripod is key. You don't want to be standing there shaking around. You want to have it sat perfectly, and then you can sit in frame, and it looks so much better than walking around talking. It's not fun doing that. We always talk about how audio is so important. If you're holding your phone like this, your phone's going to be a meter away. If you have it on a tripod, it's going to be a meter away. So the sound's not going to be as good as if you have a microphone. So we always suggest having a microphone as well.
Absolutely. As you can see, we have microphones right here. Yep. You can have a lapel mic from Amazon if you're using a mobile phone. But the difference between a good video and a shit video is
audio.
Yes. And the last tip.
And the last one is thinking about what's behind you. If you've got a shit background, no one's going to want to watch. Or you see someone doing something like eating
box
crisps.
Of tissues on your bedside table.
But obviously, as you can see, we've got this lovely garden wall in the background to make us look even better. Yeah. So
I mean, what I like is symmetry. I think if you're doing from your smartphone vertical hold, think about symmetry. Think about light in front of you. Think about what's in your bedroom behind you. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just simple tips, just to make it look nice and clean, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Thank you very much, Laura. So now we're going to talk to you about taking your live stream to the
next level.
So we're going to hand over to Chris, who is our head of video in the production suite. He's going to show you how the buttons are pressed and all the software that we use. So Chris, how are you?
Hello, Gary. I'm very good. Hello. So this is our behind the scenes of the live stream setup. So as you will see, we have this unit here, which is called our ATEM unit, and this basically controls all the cameras and all the slides that we have. We then have the software, which shows what is currently live, so you can see me through here. We've got 4 different camera ports here. We've got laptop cameras, and we've got all the audio here. So if you look at this unit now, we've got these microphones. You can also use lapels, but any microphone you have, you plug into the top and you can switch them on and off. You then have camera 1, 2, 3 and 4. That could be a laptop. So at the moment, if I cross over to camera 1, you will now see that is the laptop and that is showing all the slides. We will then go over to camera 2, which was where Gary and Laura were standing. Number 3 is myself. And then we are going to cross over to camera 4, where Gary is standing out in the cold. Hello, Gary.
Hi everybody, how's it going? So as a little bit of added engagement or functionality, what we also offer, what you guys could offer is a live cross, right? So this is just a Zoom call plugged into one of our HDMI inputs. But really what I want to talk about is that internet connection and the accessibility. If you're going pushing yourself up into a more of a higher production, you're going to need to know how to press the buttons. You're going to need a stream key. What I would definitely recommend, it's super important, is to have a switcher or have a production person sitting behind the scenes pressing all the buttons. So yeah, I think that the live cross is great because you can have somebody from outside of the organization, bring in maybe a person that can talk for 5 or 10 minutes. But I think that it's definitely important to have a production person sitting behind the counter. And as if by magic, I am back here. Hello again. And we are going to talk about how to monetize your live stream. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm 42 years old and a little bit unhealthy, so I'm going to try and get through this. So to monetize your live stream, I spoke about it earlier, particularly YouTube. What you kind of want to do is aim to increase your subscribers. And don't forget, if you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments below and we'll be able to answer them at the end of the stream. But yeah, so you want to get to 1,000 subscribers and then generate 1,000 hours worth of streaming or videos or whatnot. If you do an hour's presentation and it's a live stream to 1,000 people, bosh, you've done it in one go. The other way that we've done it specifically is via Eventbrite. They're really good at being able to integrate with your YouTube channel to send out the right links at the right time, and that's why everybody here is watching the video right now. We've done everything through Eventbrite. It's a great event ticketing platform. And then Uscreen. This is if you are really putting some time in. What you're able to do is put an archive worth of video content. You can do pay-per-view, you can do rentals, you do a members area. So if you pair YouTube platform with the ATEM software, Eventbrite ticketing and Uscreen archive, you are absolutely going to crush your live streaming. If you have any questions, you can always contact us at hello@capitalcontent.co or drop the comments in the comments section below. And that is about it. So we'll just do a bit of a conclusion. Like I said, we are so you're able to do a broadcast via a low tech barrier. Grab your phone, get TikTok open, go live, chuck it on a tripod. It's great for real-time engagement. People are able to comment, which we'll actually go through some of the comments shortly. If you just keep up with those basic production tips, light in front of you if you're shooting yourself, good audio, so on and so forth, you're going to crush it. It's low cost. You know, I reckon we could probably pull together maybe £1,000 worth of gear and you've got a super pro live production. And then lastly, the ability to monetize. If you can monetize your content without having to get a sponsor, win-win. So thanks very much for tuning in. We are going to speak to Beatrice. Beatrice, are there any questions?
Yes, we have a couple of questions here. So
Lovely.
I will start with the first one, which is, are you able to live stream any event?
Yes, I mean, anything visual, right? You can live stream like a live gig. You know, if there's a band playing, we can pull the audio from the desk, plug that straight into our software, and have 4 cameras, maybe a Roma or even a GoPro on the end of a guitar, for example. We can do church things. We can do corporates. It's possible to do weddings, but we don't here because we've had a few issues in the past. But absolutely, you can do anything visual, and even if you kind of like had a feed from elsewhere in the world, we can kind of get people live crossing or presentations, whatever it might be. So yes, anything visual can be live streamed, and we can do it also here. Any other questions?
Yeah, so there's another question saying that we want to do an internal live stream to about 300 staff members. How would they sort of go about doing that?
A live stream to 300 staff. What we would do is probably integrate with Zoom. I think we would come along to your office, plug all of our pro gear into one of your laptops, and almost kind of like set up a studio in your head office there. But what we would do is we would trick Zoom, your laptop Zoom, into our live stream software. So instead of the webcam at the top of your laptop, it'll actually be all of the gear that you saw here today and the production level that you see here. So we would kind of set up near a logo in your own office, get a host and maybe even live stream someone from a TV. But we would trick your laptop into, I mean, it's a bit more technical than that, trick your laptop into being a Zoom call. So anybody on your internal private Zoom meeting will be able to see a full-on professional. And we've done it loads of times. We actually did one at the Tate Modern for one of our major clients with Major Tom Peake, the guy that went up into space not so long ago. So it's all definitely possible. And we love doing the Zoom ones because there's less of a technical barrier there. You know, it's we really enjoy doing the Zoom, what we call managed live Zooms. Any more questions?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been the Blueprint Live, actually on live stream, like a live stream inception. We've got a couple more events. So one is about podcasting with Team Social from Capital Content. They're going to be doing a live podcast and teaching people how to better their podcasts. We did one last week on vertical video. You can check everything that we've ever done on our social feeds, /capitalcontent.co. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.